Hey y'all, happy Sunday. I am still at the Bahama Breeze and I have a special guest in the car with me. We're feeling that it's time for us to share with you, and so I want you to meet someone. Come on over here. Okay, y'all. Hey, this is my daughter. So let me set this thing up so that we won't be making y'all sick. So I may have to pause it for a second. Okay, y'all. So I did not get the glare proofness of my glasses, so I got glare. So today is Sunday, April the 8th. I'm here in the back talking to my mini-me. And today we were sitting here having a good Sunday dinner. And figured we better just have a conversation. So, this is my daughter. She is, how old are you?
24.
24. And y'all have met her a little bit, but I never, when she was growing up, wanted you all to know too much about her because I didn't want anybody to kidnap her. When she was young, I wanted to protect her identity. So when she was younger, I always protected her. I never had her in a video. Y'all might have saw like a photo of her, but because she was a minor, I was like wanting to protect her identity. I didn't want anybody coming up on her saying that they knew her based on my being on social media or YouTube. So I protected her. When she went away to college, I still protected her and did not put her in the picture because I did not want anyone to see her out when she was away at school, approaching her as if they knew her or, you know, having an inside track to her. So I always still protected her because YouTube was my thing. So today she's 24 and grown, working, graduated from college, did everything I said to do. So I'm happy about that.
No babies. That's the one thing she used to say.
I used to always tell her, okay, don't bring, I said always, because she runs track. So I would always tell her, baby, run fast and don't bring mama home no baby. So
if I know nothing else, I knew them two things.
Okay. So she knew those two things. And so she has done everything, those two things. She honored that or whatever, handled her business, you know. So what can I say? I follow her on Instagram. I don't recommend that for any parent to follow their child on social media. But it works out because, like I said, she's grown and I just adore her. So it's so funny that we're having this conversation because last week at work, I was standing at the copier. My back was, you know, to the person who was talking to me on the other copier. And this lady, she looks at me. I guess she's looking at the back of me, how, I guess, in her mind, petite or whatever I am compared to the rest of the people in the building. She's like, do you have any kids? I'm saying to myself, lady, do you know me? I don't know if you have kids or not because I don't care. But I said, well, before I even, without missing a beat, I said, yes. Yeah, oh, I bet they have fun with you. And it sounded like she was trying to say like in a disrespectful type way, but I had to clear that up. Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. So this little one is 24 years old. So people are always surprised sometimes to know that I have a child. So they try to figure out whether I actually gave birth to a baby or if my husband had a child or if it's a stepchild or what. Really nobody's business. But some of you out here really know, okay? know our story. So today we're going to come and share everything with y'all. This baby right here.
So we know each other since I was in the 7th grade.
Yeah.
7th grade.
So what happened, so she's not my biological child, but she is my gift from God. This is my baby. You can't tell me or her
nothing
that she ain't mine.
Not a thing.
I can't even adopt any other kids. She's not having it, no. So this is my miracle baby. And I met her when she was in 7th grade. I was not looking for no kids. I was happy not having kids. But one day when I was doing my library orientations, and yes, Lioness, you know this story. Got on my Yes, Lioness shirt anyway. So I was doing orientations, and sometimes when I would do my orientations, I would either pick a kid who was not paying attention or being, you know, off task or what have you, or someone who was sitting there quiet. So she was sitting there quiet, and I was like, I'm gonna pick you. So I picked her, and I said, I think I want you to come and help me. She was like, me? I was like, yeah. So she came, apparently didn't know anything about computers, and so I just told her what to do, click the mouse for the PowerPoint and everything. So at the end, I was like, you know what? I think I want you to work for me. And then she was like, me? I said,
I was so excited, y'all.
So I said, yeah, I want you to work for me. So I found out what exploratory classes that she was taking. And I said, okay, got that worked out. So there was like September-ish when we were doing the orientations. And so she worked for me, training her to do library stuff. And then, of course, she became my shadow, my mini-me. She became me. And it became time for track season. And so she's supposed to run track. And I think she was waiting for her mom to bring her money for the physical. And so for whatever reason, her mom didn't make it. And so she was crying. And I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with this baby? I said, what's wrong? She was like, I knew she wasn't going to come. Father, what's wrong? She said, I needed $10 for my physical. I want to run track. I said, well, okay, baby, hold on. I didn't even have any cash because I didn't carry a lot of cash. So I borrowed the $10 from one of my coworkers.
My favorite.
So, yeah, I borrowed the $10 from one of my coworkers. I said, look, the baby want to run track. I don't have any cash. You got $10 I could pay, and I'll pay you back. So he said, yeah. So I got the $10, paid it. That particular year, y'all, they ran all the way to the state finals in wherever they had it. But, yeah, she was running. She's a natural athlete. Now, there's a lot of things in between, and I want her to decide how much she wants to share with you guys. But what do you want to say?
Okay, so, and coming from my perspective, I guess, of everything, once I got on the track team, you know, I didn't really have the best support system through track, but she was like at every meet, recording every single thing. Like, I had a video of every middle school track meet. But I ended up losing my mom when I was in 8th grade. And the night that everything happened, it was extremely difficult because I was at the house by myself. And the ambulance came and got my mom. And I didn't have nobody to call. I was in 8th grade, like I said. And, I was scared of being at the house by myself. It was like... What time was it?
I tell you what, I had just gotten home on a Friday.
Yeah.
And I was so tired because that week we had gotten your hair done. And remember the car had blocked us in?
Yeah.
When I had dropped you off. And it was just a very long, difficult week, that particular week. Remember, a lot had happened that week. Remember? Okay, we don't have to talk about that part. But a lot had happened. And so we had made it to Friday, y'all. It had been a hell of a week. So we made it to Friday, and I had got home. I had just laid down on the sofa. I work about almost 20 miles from work, and I had made it through traffic and everything. So I had just got home, laid down on the sofa. I was so exhausted, I closed my eyes. My phone rings, and it was her. I'm like, oh, my God, what's going on? So she calls me, and I hear her say, I just rushed my mom to the hospital. I'm scared. Can you come and get me or whatever? I was like, okay, I'll be right there. So by this time, my husband was either on the way home or was about to be home or whatever. So we jumped in the car. We went back across town to go and get her. Now, by this time, I had known her over a year, well over a year. And I knew her family, her mom, everybody. So they knew me. And so I went and picked her up. She had never been to our house before. So I was like, oh, my God, I'm a teacher. She's a student. I don't know. Where can I take her? I don't want to, cross any, lines or whatever that, no, wasn't trying to do anything like that. But, divine intervention and everything, just said, you know what, do what you know that needs to be done. So without a second hesitation, I went and got her, and we went and picked her up, got her something to eat, and then we eventually made it back to the house. So we sat around that night. We watched movies on the big screen. We laughed and everything. And, I think you were in contact with your family, checking on your mom and everything.
And how it happened was we ended up going to sleep because it got late. Going to sleep. Got a call at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and it was from my older sister. And she was letting me know that my mom had passed. And I didn't believe it. I was in distraught. So it was like it was a very emotional moment. I immediately ran to my room and let her, I was like beating on the door crying. I'm pretty sure she's like, why is this little girl at my door crying?
Oh, wait, hold on. Before that, when I heard somebody tapping on the door, I'm like, who the hell was up in here?
It was like 3 in the morning, almost 4, by the way. So.
And I, had drifted off, and I was not thinking about anybody being in the house with us. So I was like, who is knocking on this door? Then I remember, oh, Munchie's back there. So I opened the door. What's wrong, baby? She said, my mom just died. I was like, oh my God.
We both fell to the ground crying. It was crazy.
It was an unbelievable experience. It was like out of body for me, and I know it was out of body for her. So it was just like the bottom had dropped out, because there's a lot that had been going on, and that was the last possible thing that we needed. Anybody, but especially we did not need that in our lives at that point.
Yeah.
So a lot had gone on. So I asked her, what do you want to do? So it was still dark, like early in the morning, 3-4 o'clock. So she said she would just rather wait and go over in the morning to join the family, at her mom's house and everything. So we get up that morning, and I take her there and I drop her off. And so a lot happened. And then so eventually a week or so later, we had the funeral, and, I wasn't sure what we were going to do, because it's a lot that was going on when you lose a parent. Her grandmother had lost a daughter. Her sister had lost a mom. The other baby sister had lost a mom.
And mind you guys, before I met Miss in 7th grade, I lost my dad when I was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
So it was already kind of just, off balance. So this kind of really just threw me under.
So before she was even 14, she had lost both of her parents, biological parents. And so I can't even explain. I can't even begin to even to this day understand. But she's a tough girl. And she made it through. So trying to sum this thing up, I don't want this to be too long of a video, but it's going to be long because it's a long story. But we made it through. And by this time, she was still in the 8th grade. We have stuck with this little girl from the time she was in 7th grade until it was about she was 13. I think 12 or 13 when I met her.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's
a baby.
Anyway, peanut gallery. Now she is 24. Will be 25 this year. So you can do the math how long we have known this little girl, and we have stuck by her through
stuck. Like,
we have stuck by her through thin and thick.
There was times where I literally just was about to crash, and I could call, because having parents is vital, especially when you just don't know certain stuff. And I feel like I didn't have anybody to talk to or call, but I was like, yo, I got Miss at all times. I call her at any hour, she gonna pick up. So she might be like, girl, what do you want? But she gonna pick up. So it was my life is crazy. This video could not possibly be long enough.
Oh, no, I know. We're editing it. This is a whole lot of in-camera editing right now, because there's so much that we're not saying, but just understand we live in Memphis, Tennessee. And there's a lot of dynamics that go on in the city and in the world. So you could just only imagine. We're giving you the
bits and crumbs.
Right. You're just getting the crumbs, right? The sprinkles. You're getting the sprinkles, right?
Yeah.
But no matter what, we've been through a lot, and I have followed this little girl from everywhere. I've been in neighborhoods in Memphis that I never thought I would be in. But I was up in there keeping up with this little one right here, because I was determined that I was going to be a good role model for her, an influence for her, and I'm proud.
Y'all want to know something that's funny? Before I met Miss Hunt, I literally did not know the side of Nova. I did not know that side. Where they was building the big houses and the restaurants and everything that was nice, all I knew was South Memphis, Tennessee. So it was they didn't believe me when I literally didn't know what a Chick-Fil-A was.
I was just about to think. I was like, this baby had never had a chicken mini, y'all.
I tore them chicken minis up the first time I had.
I think, let's get back to that. So in between the point of we didn't know what was going to happen to her next, I tried to find out from a family, well hey, what do y'all want me to do with her? I mean, what are we supposed to do? Where's she going to live? So her sister was like, and she had also come through my middle school, but I did not meet her. And I was like, well, what do you all want me to do? So she was like, well, she said, you're stable. Yeah, okay. I'm like, I'm just going to do what God intends for me to do, is to do the right thing. And so in between that time, she was still in school. So I am instant mom. And so on the way to school some mornings, we would stop at Chick-Fil-A. She said that she, 13, 14 years old, had never had or heard of Chick-fil-A. And I was like, girl, you ain't never had a chicken mini? So, yeah, so that was hilarious. So this little girl was and is the light of my life. And with everything that has happened, everything, I can tell you right here, right now, that it was and is divine intervention. Everything that happened, even the bad, all the way to the good, it was divinely orchestrated. God knew what he was about to do.
For sure.
He was about to take her mom when he put me in her life. I know you couldn't have been telling me I'm going to go to school, go to work, and find a kid that I'm going to darn near adopt. But that's what happened. And when we fast forward through a couple years or whatever,
it's a lot of stuff.
A lot.
When we say fast forward, like, it's literally a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot that you're not getting and out of, yeah. So, well, come to find out, y'all, my husband had been bowling with her grandfather, who was actually my husband's nephew's uncle. No,
cousin.
What?
Her grandfather and my nephew's father are brothers.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you get that? Her grandfather and my husband's nephew's father were brothers.
Yeah.
So my nephew, by marriage,
was already related
to this one. They were first cousins.
It's crazy how stuff just be.
We had no idea, just everything the way that it happened. And this was her mom's dad.
Yeah.
Her mom's dad,
biological daddy,
biological father, was my nephew by marriage's uncle, cousin, something, whatever. They were related. And it was just like, oh my God, it was divine intervention. So, when I tell you fast forward, it's fast forward. But we have managed to see this little girl through middle school. We got her through 4 years of high school. And there were times when I had to push back for some obvious reasons that we know, but, just as a precaution. But I always told her that I'm only a phone call away. If you ever need me, I will be right there. And she knew that. And we were just having a dinner in the restaurant, and I'm so proud of her perspective on life, that some things she couldn't see as a teenager, but now she has greater perspective, and she's able to understand why some things were the way that they were, and that I was always going to be a phone call away for her. So right. I'm proud of her. She is just continuing to do great things, and she's graduated from college. I won't tell you where, because I don't want y'all to follow my baby. But yeah, I'm still protective. Mother hen, yes. But she is an outstanding young lady, and we are so proud of her. I think I'm going to have to follow.
They counted me out.
No, who counted you out?
You know when people say they.
They. It's not us.
It just sounds cool, right? They counted me up. I'm back up. I was down, but now I'm up.
Yeah, we started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
you caught on.
But anyway, y'all, so that's our quick 20-minute story, getting to know her and getting to know.
We just touched the surface, but
we scratched the surface, y'all.
Yeah.
And we scratched it because it's a whole lot, but you don't even need to know all that. The main thing is we have done great things, and this one right here, I don't even think whether or not she's biologically mine or not. I could never not recognize and acknowledge her as mine. I know Lioness was always saying sometimes that it doesn't matter whether you give birth to the kid or not. It's just the parenting, that mothering, because some people who give birth to kids, and you know what happens with that. So this one right here, yeah, she's mine.
Can't go nowhere.
I can't get rid of her, y'all. Can't get rid of her.
Yeah, shout out to God.
Yeah, shout out to God. Big ups to God, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, y'all, so I thank you for watching this video. We finally shared our story. I've been intending to do it for years, but it just never worked out. But yeah, we did good.
It's nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, we'll see her again later. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. I wanted to add this addendum to the video. After I had lunch with my daughter, the waiter, not the waiter, but I guess a manager came over and asked us, was everything good? You know, whatever. I said, we're just waiting for the check, because we had been there having a good time laughing and talking. So the manager brought us over a ticket. And I looked at it, and the ticket was for far less than what our ticket should have been, because there were, several of us in the party. And, I'd had, beverages, and she'd had lunch, and everybody had good food to eat. So, needless to say, the ticket was for like 50% less than probably what it should have been. So I looked at the ticket, and it's like, look, you know what? This is not our ticket. And I've always taught her to be honest and to recognize that karma can be deadly. So it would have been so easy to just pay that ticket that was less than. But, I live by certain principles, and those are the same principles that I have tried to instill in her. And she knew that her mama was not going for that, even though it would have saved us a whole bunch of money, more money for her. But she knows that if you get away with it there, you're going to pay somewhere else. So it's easier to just go ahead and always do the right thing. Just wanted to go ahead and add that and let you know who we are.